Follow the money.
That's what I always say. You always follow the money.
Yeah.
This is Follow the Money with Mitch Moss and Paulie Howard on VSiN.
It's good to have you on board. We're live in downtown Vegas from the Circa Resort and Casino. Busy hour coming up. We'll get back to college basketball. The slate tonight, upcoming tournaments that we have as well. Tim Murray on the program. He's hosting primetime tonight, but also first weekend of the college basketball contest here on VSiN that'll go through the title game. Timmy put up a 4-0-1 mark, and he finished second behind Paul Stone last year. Paul Stone 5-0 over the weekend.
Yep, good job, Paul. How about the trade today in the NFL? How about that? David Montgomery to the Texans. Doesn't say much about Joe Mixon.
Well, no, he's done, I would think.
But you look at this, where am I weak? Offensive line, okay? Can I shore up the offensive line? But I add Montgomery, and I'm going to get Tank Dell back.
Don't do it, Paul.
What if can I dangle Stroud out there? Can I do it?
For what, MVP?
No, trade. No, what I could get back in return.
No, you're not. No.
Oh, I could imagine. I could fix the O-line, and put Kyler Murray on that team. Is there a drop-off? After how bad this guy played in the playoffs, though? It's interesting.
I'm careful what you wish for there.
Did you not like the trade from a Detroit standpoint?
Loved it from a Detroit standpoint. And by the way,
Houston gave up too much in your mind.
Yes, they did. And honestly, and here's the thing. And our buddy Paul Charchian, I think it was him who tweeted this out earlier today, for fantasy and prop stuff.
Oh, yeah, Gibbs.
No, hold on. Montgomery is good. Houston has a track record of trading for guys and then grinding the daylight. Look at Mixon. Mm-hmm. With the workload he had 2 years ago. They will do that to Montgomery. And now my very first takeaway was you got to load up on Gibbs Offensive Player of the Year. But I'm not going to bet 8-1 on March 2nd. So he's going to, the season that he is about to have, we're going to see like nuclear Jahmyr Gibbs. He's going to go absolutely crazy.
You don't expect much out of Montgomery because of the offensive line?
No. I think Montgomery can actually be, I like him still.
Well, I like him too, but Woody came on, but also he had the issues all year with the offensive line. I just look at that and I'm like, oh man, I get Montgomery, I'm getting Tank Dell back. I'm not a Stroud fan at all. He was horrendous in the playoffs. Do you think you miss anything with Davis Mills? No, he saved your season.
I know. Do you think if they actually did what you're suggesting right now and they did put him out there in the market?
I had a problem with the GM, what he did with the reporter and just that's not a moronic comment. That's I would dangle him out there and see what you could get, knowing that there's so many bad quarterbacks in this league and how many teams need quarterbacks that they could maybe lose their minds and give up a crazy return. Well,
does he automatically go to the front of the line, in your opinion, for best quarterback available? Does he go ahead of Kyler Murray? Does he go ahead of Malik Willis?
Yes. But I haven't seen that star player since his rookie year.
He's
regressed
exponentially worse.
I got to tell you, he was lost. He needed to be benched in the New England playoff game.
They absolutely whiffed on that.
He had 4 picks, and they were down 5 points on the road in the second half.
Yeah, I can't believe that coaching staff, and they still doubled down and said, no, we got to, and other people are saying, media folks, saying, you got to know what you have. No, you don't. And oh, by the way, there's a pretty good chance the way that he's playing that you don't have much in the guy. You need to win that football game because you can win the whole thing. He had to get yanked. It was a terrible decision by them. So I don't know, man. Mm-hmm. Stroud to me is like hot potato. You're going to pass him over to me. I'm going to be like, get him off my hands. I don't want it. So we do have a lot of NBA news tonight as well.
No doubt. I'm shocked by this. Well, I am shocked by this news.
Well, which one?
Freak is going to play. No Jaylen Brown. Freak is back. The Bucks are down to 2.5.
Mm-hmm. This was 7.5 earlier today.
Garland's back for the Clippers. He will play for the first time.
Don't we like them tonight against the Warriors, although it's a back-to-back for the Clips?
Yeah, I still think they should be okay, though, because they demolished New Orleans last night, and Kawhi didn't play a lot of minutes. And this Warrior, that was ugly Saturday, and outside of that fluke win against Denver, which Denver's horrendous defensively, it's a bad roster right now. And Curry's out another 10 days.
Minimum.
Think about that. So I also lean the Clippers, and then the Trae Young probably play about 17 minutes for the Wizards.
Not tonight, Thursday.
Thursday, yep, thank you. Bring them back Thursday. So I know Makinen had this. It's a great trend tonight in the Utah game. When Denver plays bad teams, they're on a 13-1 overrun.
There you go.
So you see how bad they are defensively. They're 25th in defense. And I'm shocked at how bad, by his standards, how Joker has struggled. Now, they would move that huge lead. Friday night was awesome, huh? The comebacks and the game goes to overtime and Denver blows a 16-point lead.
The look on Joker's face when he was about to get into a fight.
Dirty. He shot under 50% in February. The last time he did that for a month, November of 2019.
Wow.
Incredible. They're only 4-8 since his return. Issues with Cam Thomas as well. No, Johnson. Wrong Cam. And the issues defensively, does it all go away when they get Gordon back? Who knows? It remains to be seen. But the way Utah is playing defensively, number one, awful defensively and near the top in pace. That's what you do when you're tanking. I agree with Makinen. That trend should get there tonight.
Yeah, there's Utah played in a low-scoring game last time out. But again, like you said, 13-1 for Denver when they've taken on teams this year with a winning percentage of less than 40%. Utah's also 173 over in one-day rest games since November of 2022. Denver has won and covered all 7 meetings with Utah since March of 2024. They're also 89-56 over the total, playing in the 4th game in 6-day scenario since March of 2021. Now, the total has come down, but it's also a super high total anyway. It was 243.5 earlier today, down to 241.5 in this game. Did you mention that tweet that I sent over earlier today with these two teams?
The history?
Yeah.
I did not.
Yeah, boy.
I just hit the.
Here you go.
Yep. I hit the 13-1 angle.
16-5 to the over as road favorites this year. 14-2 to the over in their last 16, going over by 7 points per game on average.
Beautiful.
There is that tonight.
Yes.
So, I don't know. Clippers to me stand out like a play tonight. I guess we got to find out whether or not Kawhi's going to go. Opta AI stats are saying under his point prop tonight at 27.5. No Porzingis as well. Gary Payton's questionable. The Clippers are 7-1 straight up in ATS last 8 of this series against Golden State. Golden State also playing home games in the one-day rest scenario going back to November 2023, 25-42 against the spread. It's a bad outfit. I don't want that team in the playoffs right now.
Yeah.
No. I mean, if there's no Curry,
right.
Can't get on board. And the Rockets at the Wizards. Houston is on an 8-1 straight up and ATS run here against Washington. Jabari Smith is out. Questionable for the Wiz. Kaishan George, last check. Anthony Gill. Opta AI says under on Thompson and Şengün boards in the game.
What do you want to do with Bucks props now? I think this helps Porter assists, but it's going to affect his scoring now.
Yeah, I would probably not go PRA with him.
With Giannis coming back. And they are 10-1 to make the playoffs. This is bizarre. I'm shocked by this.
Let me check the whole...
As he's coming back. And no Jaylen Brown, as I mentioned, and the Celtics off a nice win last night.
Do you want to get into those numbers on the while I'm looking for this? You want to get into those numbers on the Hornets that you have?
So you have big tickets on division and also playoffs. And this is no easy out for the 1 or the 2 seed if they happen to draw these guys. Now they're likely to be in the play-in. Maybe they could catch Philly. They could fall apart. Maybe they could win the division or get to the 7, whatever, or come out of there in any event with the play-in. It's too bad they started 4-14.
Mm-hmm.
So they're 18-2 with the starters in that lineup with a big 5. And it's so good you could actually call them the death lineup now with what Golden State had. 18-2 record, plus 179 in 280 minutes. 136 offensive rating. 105 defensive rating.
Damn.
Net rating of 30.4. That's with Moose, Bridges, Ball, Knipple, and Miller. 4 wins in a row, all by 15-plus points. Haven't made the playoffs in 10 years. Had the tough loss at home to Detroit maybe a week ago, 2 weeks ago, whatever it was. But I know there's been some bad competition lately, but they're putting it on teams. And certainly if you're Detroit or you're Cleveland and you have to draw these guys in the first round, look at that record. 18-2 and these guys are healthy and everyone's in there with the starting lineup and plus 179 over 281 minutes. That's number 2. Other than the Detroit starting 5, this is the best 5-man lineup in NBA right now, right? What they're doing.
Yeah, going like that. Now, since the beginning of the year, they're like the best team in the NBA, basically. And I know that we do a lot of Con Kneppel talk here on the show. And overall, I think probably that's the biggest name on the team. Rookie season, killing it. I think he's going to steal it now from Cooper Flagg as well. But Brandon Miller has been, I think, even better lately. He's a guy that I think maybe flies under the radar a little bit. And we're talking about points props and also 3-point props. Kneppel gets all the attention, leading the NBA in threes made, all that. And as a rookie, like I said. But Miller is, check out his game log. Absolutely scorching hot. It goes back, I think, at least a good 6-8 games. For the record, the Bucks have the 8th easiest schedule moving forward. I mean, in the Eastern Conference, is it bonkers to think that they could actually make the playoffs at 10-1?
It is unfortunate that they don't have many division games left because all those 4 teams are jumbled up here.
We're talking about Charlotte.
But sorry, Charlotte. Yeah. But
Charlotte, I don't think Charlotte plays a divisional game in April.
Yeah.
They only have a couple left.
Yeah. It's hard for that 250 to 1 ticket. That's unfortunate. I'm excited for tomorrow. Baseball futures aren't just guesses, they're investments. Let's tune in tomorrow, 1 p.m. Eastern, the 2026 VSiN MLB Futures Draft. Former MLB GM Steve Phillips, former pitcher Lance Lynn, Jensen Lewis, Gil Alexander, Matt Humans, Jeff Erickson, Matt Brown, and more, drafting division winners, pennants, World Series champ, and season awards. The 2026 VSiN MLB Futures Draft tomorrow at 1 p.m. Eastern on VSiN, right here, the Sports Betting Network. Excited for this, and tune in tomorrow, 1 p.m. Eastern, for the draft.
Seems like we have some pretty big numbers available tonight with some dogs in college basketball, but it scares me. I'll tell you why coming up on Follow the Money. It's VSiN, the Sports Betting Network.
You're here because you want an edge. That's what separates listeners from winners. But let's be real, mindset alone doesn't get bets home. Pros win because they've got the tools, the data, and the discipline. And now so can you. VSiN Pro gives you access to the same real-time insights the sharps use. No secrets, no fluff, just actionable info that moves markets. Tap the link and see why serious bettors are turning knowledge into profit with VSiN Pro.
This is Follow the Money on VSiN.
Welcome back. We're live in Vegas. Circa Resort Casino is the spot. Still to come this hour, Tim Murray on the program. 4-0-1 debut for him over the weekend. Weekend number 1 of the college basketball contest here on VSiN. That'll go through the national title game. In pocket plays for us as well. I said before the break, Paulie, that some big numbers are available, especially in the marquee games tonight, but I'm not going to be touching them. I don't really want to be fading the best teams right now in college basketball. A couple of reasons why. Duke after the Michigan win, right? All you heard, letdown spot, laying a big number against Notre Dame. That closed 16.5. They won 100-56. The game was over with 2 minutes in. Then they're laying 10 against a good Virginia team. 77-51. I don't think the game was even that close. They mauled them, and it was over with immediately. Arizona, +6 at Houston. They won 73-66. The Baylor game they did not cover. I'm going to make an asterisk next to that game because that was a huge sandwich game. Off the win at Houston, Kansas revenge spot pending, which was the game they just defeated the Jayhawks 84-61 over the weekend. They're laying 10.5 in the game. Michigan at Illinois on Friday night. 2.5. I'll take the Illini. Over with at halftime. Florida laying 7 at Texas. They trailed by 3 at halftime. They won by 13. Florida favored by 10 against a talented Arkansas team. 53-34 at halftime. 111-77.
It was something. And I love Pat Forty's tweet. Watching Michigan Friday night, they're the best team in the country. Then he changed his mind after he watched Duke. Changed his mind after he watched Arizona and said, no, that's got to be Florida. If what they did to Arkansas. That was incredible.
That's how I felt over the weekend.
Can't go against Duke, you're right. And I got to come back with Arizona, though, too, with these concerns and how bad Iowa State's been in some of these games, also in road games, too. Do they respond? Remains to be seen. I don't think so. I think Arizona's too good, and that was disappointing what Iowa State did. Blasted by Texas Tech, and a great job for them not quitting, even though they lost Toppin. That was excellent. 2 angle plays as well. And IU Indy is now favored at DraftKings. In addition to BetMGM, Horizon League starts tonight against Cleveland State. Cleveland State is an angle play. So is Lamar against Houston Christian.
Lamar was before it flipped.
Okay, thank you. And Lamar and coming up tonight as well as Max talked about that. So 2 angle plays. I like these couple games in the Big Sky. Portland State is trying to lock up the 1 seed and win the league. They have lost 3 in a row, but the Vikings have been good to us all year at home. They're laying 4.5 against Weber State. And I think Portland State will win and cover tonight and lock up that 1 seed in the Big Sky. Their championship game is a week from Wednesday. And also, this has been pointed out by a couple people, Eastern Washington is hot. They've won 8 in a row. They beat Idaho in the first meeting. There was a 3.5 out there. It's down to 2.5 now at DraftKings at home against Idaho. Also like Eastern Washington tonight in the Big Sky.
A lot of bets. Good. I like it. If I give you $1,000 right now and said you have to put every single cent on one team to win the national title, who would it be? Putting you on the spot. I'm not going to get cute or drift out. I'm looking at one of the top 4 teams.
I think it has to be Michigan because of what they also did in the non-conference.
Okay, I'm not going to kill you for it.
Yeah.
Nope.
I would take Michigan.
No. To me, it would be...
That was impressive also for Eddie.
I think I'm a loser when it looks at all of my futures that I have. I don't have a lot. I think I have 4 futures. They're not exactly looking too hot at this point. Kansas 60-1. I mean, it depends on the draw, I think, completely. And like even UConn, I have a nice bet on UConn at 16 to 18 to 1 range early November. Don't love it. Can't. I don't think they're even in the same, they're not in the same tier as those other teams. And so at this point, would I be looking for value or do I want to look for the team that's actually going to win the whole thing? It's the latter. And I think it's going to be one of those 4. And I honestly think I'd probably put it on Florida at this point. That team in almost every single facet, including what was their biggest weakness to begin the year, 3-point shooting. They're getting way better now all of a sudden.
Well, coaching's big too.
Yeah.
And this second half thing is nuts.
I can't tell you how impressed I am by that.
Yeah. Every game he's making the halftime adjustments and they're blitzing someone. So great job. And right back in this discussion for the 1 seed too.
If they, put it this way, if they win out, they're going to have an incredible case. Even if UConn does win out as well, that means that Florida's going to win the SEC tournament compared to the junk that we have in the Big East for the most part. They're going to have a phenomenal narrative to get that final number 1 seed. And they were around 30+% in prediction markets last week. We have some more NBA news for you. That's just coming down. Giannis is available tonight. That's official. As for tomorrow, the Oklahoma City Thunder have already announced that Isaiah Hartenstein's going to be out, and they've also said that Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, injury management, is out for tomorrow night as well.
Okay. All right. He was up to minus 270 for the MVP. There's another miss. Getting juicy, my friend. Dallas is also announcing everyone's out, too.
No Najee. There's
no Flag. We knew about Flag, but no Marshall. I think Washington's downgraded. So a ton of people out for the. How about the Mavs? They're down 31 at home to Memphis.
I know,
unbelievable. After they lost that laying 8 to Sacramento.
I got to say that most of these games now, and I've learned the hard way here, they're becoming a lot of them with certain tanking teams involved, unplayable. I got absolutely
doesn't make sense, right? So I made the case for the Nets Friday, right? Malinsky special.
Yep,
that's tight in the third quarter. And then Boston runs them out, and they couldn't miss in this.
Well, they score 140?
Yeah, right. Then they turn around the next game and almost beat the Cavs.
Oh, yeah.
It's like it's
the whole way.
Yeah, pick a streak, guys.
Yeah.
I mean,
the Milwaukee game really just, I mean, that was, I'm still kind of like feeling that one from yesterday. Like I hopped in the ring with Tyson for a couple of rounds, and I never bet him first half. I had a nice bet on them, money line to win the game outright. The Chicago Bulls never won a game in February. I'll give you the details here in a second, but I'm holding a ticket on a team that had been playing good basketball up until that Knicks loss. What was that, Friday night? Whenever it was. The Bulls and the Bucks. It was 66-51 yesterday at halftime. That turned into a 16-point deficit, and the Bulls were on an 11-game losing streak, and the Bulls eventually went on a 27-0 run and they were a 15-point lead for the Bucks, turned into a 25-point deficit, a 40-point turnaround. The Bulls won the second half 69-31 and 33-8 in the fourth quarter. I could not believe what I was watching in the game yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's going to be a punt on most of this stuff.
Yep. Detroit's 1.5 tomorrow at Cleveland. Mitchell's been ruled out already.
Well, we get the rematch now of Duren against Mobley and
Allen again.
Allen, both guys went crazy.
I talked myself off the prop Friday because...
And I talked myself off Duren.
They were both phenomenal. And Allen had 10 points in the first quarter. He's been great.
Our buddy Chris Massaro is holding Jalen Duren at 75-1 to win Most Improved.
He's the favorite now.
Oh, he's odds on.
Oh, that's excellent. Okay. And I'm surprised you're not more fired. This, to me, is organizational malpractice that Giannis is playing. Because you don't want to blow the top 10 pick.
No, I know.
And if something happens to the guy with an injury.
I can't imagine.
Because you tried to... Was it serious? Probably not. But at least you dangled them out there and were taking offers at the deadline. And as Brian Windhorst has said numerous times, just put the extension in front of him. If he refuses to sign it, you got to move him.
Yeah.
And then the offers are going to be better in the summer anyways. But by playing him, number one, you could blow the 10-1 to make the playoffs. They could blow the top 10 pick, and he could suffer a catastrophic injury, and you can't trade him. And it's just, it's horrible how they let this guy run the organization, and they're going to allow him to come back here.
Let me give you their schedule here. There's no Jaylen Brown tonight, by the way.
Yep.
Wednesday, they get Atlanta at home. Atlanta, look at Kuminga. 20 yesterday looks awesome.
Thank you, Warrior chants while the game's going on.
They get Utah at home, Orlando at home, Phoenix at home. A couple tough ones there. At Miami, at Atlanta. Boy, there are some tough games in between there. But 10-1 to make the playoffs right now on a team that's currently the 11 seed and they're 3 games back of Charlotte. They're not catching Charlotte. They're not going to track that team down.
Could they catch Atlanta? Who are you looking at then?
They'd have to catch Atlanta, Miami, or it's all 4 teams, by the way, from the same division. Right, Orlando is the 7, then Miami, Atlanta, and then Charlotte.
That doesn't make any sense why they're doing this.
I don't disagree.
Ridiculous. Right. If you're betting college hoops, now's the time to get your edge. Get the VSiN Pro access through May 1st, just $29.99 with the Hoops Mania special. Burke and Cohen are doing a great job previewing all these conference tournaments. So you get the March Mania betting guide, every conference tournament preview, every best bet, every host, every guest, the betting splits as well, and the AI-powered prop tools. If you're planning to bet college hoops, get a real edge with VSiN Pro. Sign up now, vsin.com/subscribe.
We'll recap our bets from over the weekend and tell you what we've added for tonight and moving forward with in-pocket plays coming up on Follow the Money. It's VSiN, the Sports Betting Network.
To determine the winner of any given college basketball game.
Someone gives you 10,000 to 1 on anything. You take it. Take it. Take it.
I bet you $20 I can get you gambling before the end of the day. No way. I'll give you 3-1 odds. Nope. 5-1. Nope. 10-1. You're up.
All right, one of those weekends. Apologies. The basketball was terrible on the props. Soccer was good. Southampton punished Sheffield Wednesday. Laid the goal and a half. I think, 12 losses in a row by Sheffield Wednesday. 9 of them, they haven't scored. Man City won 1-0, $1.60. To look at the price coming up in the next match against Nottingham Forest. Still think Man City can get this done. Gonzaga led by 7 at the half and then fell apart. Good win for St. Mary's as they clinch a share of the conference title. Porter, the points a loser, and the PRA just missed. This was ridiculous. I think he had 11 points and 11 assists, but then they were getting blown out, so they pulled him in the fourth quarter.
Always a danger there.
Yeah, and the Knicks are playing good ball now all of a sudden. So that one was tough to stomach, what happened on Friday at home. And you wanted to come back because FOMO, after Marshall had 36, all these guys out, he asked to score. He did nothing as they were down 31, also blown out. So they pulled him in a pathetic showing. And the Lakers ran out the Warriors on Saturday night. Hockey, Hellebuck gave up 5 goals, and Anaheim rallied to win in overtime there, so that was a winner. So no good with the hoops, but the other stuff was okay. Santa Clara to miss the tournament. Yes is now minus 150. Probably comes down to the semifinal game against St. Mary's for Santa Clara out here. Miami of Ohio to miss. No plus 320. Well, you listen to a lot of bracketology people. There's value here. I mean, if they have to go undefeated to make it, they might be underdogs against Akron in the MAC title game at 33-0. That would be something. And the SEC to get most bids at Caesars minus $2. And the new plays tonight, Eastern Washington money line. Portland State lane 4.5, trying to lock up the 1 seed. And tomorrow, UNLV want to fade Utah State. I don't think they're that good. UNLV won at Utah State as double-digit dogs. They're catching 8.5 at home tomorrow. And Utah State was just blasting their last road game, where they lost at Nevada lane 5, and we're catching 1.5, and we're down big immediately against the Aztecs.
It's a good win for UNLV over the weekend against Nevada as well.
Yes.
Not bad.
It'll be a fun conference tournament. Good luck.
All right, a couple of losers for me on Friday night. Illinois plus the 2 against Michigan. Never had a chance. Pistons minus 7. You can take your CLV and throw it in the trash. Closed.
Ridiculous.
Yeah, okay, so here's the thing. Cleveland was out without everybody in that game. They led the entire way, including big late. They blew it, went to overtime. Then the Pistons, I'm lane 7, they got out to a 6-point lead in overtime. And they were lucky to win the game. I thought that was a great sign for Cleveland moving forward in that game. Terrific sign without all those guys.
Sure.
So not a great Friday night. Onward and upward. Pending the final 4 bets, Virginia, St. John's, and Arkansas from a couple of weeks back. And this starts this week, World Baseball Classic. I love this roster for the Dominican Republic. Taking a shot at them to win the whole thing at plus 460. The new play, I'm on Merrimack to win the MAAC at 3-1.
There you go. Come on. Get it done. Good price. College hoops grinds where real bettors find their edge. Dozens of games a night, constant line movement, opportunities for those where to look. You're not bidding billion-dollar books or full-time sharps on your own with the sharp plays you don't have to. Powered by advanced AI, connected insider sources. They highlight sharp action, key numbers, and market shifts before the public catches up. Free reports, alerts, public logs. Transparent results since 2011 with Follow the Money since day one. Mr. Poison is back as well. Look for those tweets in all sports every day. Trusted by pros, monitored by the books. Get on board. Sharpplays.com and own the boards this college basketball season. Visit sharpplays.com.
I kind of have a hankering to bet the Clippers tonight as well. Don't know if Kawhi's going to play yet, though.
Warriors got to prove it to you. I am shocked at the reaction with my CJ Stroud comment. So we talked about this last week with Jet Whispers, Dan Leberfeld, and I had the same feeling when the GM Caserio said it's outrageous and moronic to suggest we would trade this guy and our franchise quarterback. I agree with Dan. You should dangle this guy and maybe see what you can get in return. I like the trade today that they acquired Montgomery and the fact that he should have been benched in the playoff loss and was horrible in the 2 playoff games. There was an article yesterday at Yahoo. The Vikings should be looking at Stroud. But McCarthy and a first-round pick wouldn't be enough, is what this guy writes.
McCarthy and a first-round pick would not be enough for C.J. Stroud.
Yes. I am.
Who's this guy? Who wrote it?
I disagree vehemently with all these viewers who say there'll be no market for Stroud off an MVP-type season as a rookie, which he has regressed.
That's 2 full years ago.
And, I'm not a fan of him at all. But there would definitely be a market for this guy if you would dangle him. I think first of all, I would love to trade him if I'm running the Texans. I don't know what the market would be, but it's not going to be you're going to get a lot of teams out there that would be interested in the guy.
If a team gives up a first-round pick for Stroud, the GM who makes that decision should be fired within 10 seconds. There's absolutely no way, no how that kid is worth a first-round pick at this point.
One person said multiple So that guy's even worse.
That person should be drug tested.
They would need to make a massive offer to Lance Stroud.
A massive offer. The guy is arguably, he's one of the worst quarterbacks in football.
Oh,
Watch the tape.
Strong. That's strong.
He's horrendous.
That's strong.
He's not even close to the same guy that we saw. And by the way, I don't want to hear this about, who does he have to throw to? He's had plenty of weapons there in his time with Houston.
Oh, yeah.
Offensive line, little shoddy. Now, I will say this.
Yeah.
There's always an angle that these young quarterbacks, that if you give them enough time, if they go to the right coaching staff, they can get better. I believe that could be the case for C.J. Stroud. At the same time, like maybe Minnesota would be that spot. Move the organization if you give up a first-round pick for him, if that's what it takes. Under no circumstance can you give up that much for him.
It's a good discussion.
Is it?
It is. It's an interesting discussion.
Where do you?
Because can I talk? Well, he'd be an unbelievable fit, I think, with O'Connell. Although O'Connell can't turn the ball over, it drives him nuts. He even made Nick Mullins look good, but he pulled Mullins because Mullins kept turning the ball over. Guy threw for 400 yards a couple times when he was in there and lit up the Lions. But this goes back to, if I can make you cut out the stupid mistakes and the silly throws. Because I got healthy Nico Collins. I got Tank Dell back. I just picked up Montgomery. I know I have a shaky offensive line, but this guy had 23 touchdowns and 5 picks as a rookie and then won a playoff game.
Well, I'm glad that you're super excited for it. I couldn't be
I'm just saying,
less excited if I tried.
Right, fair enough. But I'm just, the listeners are wrong on this. There would be a market for this guy if suddenly the Texans would say, you know what, we're going to throw him out there and see what happens.
Do you think
they would get offers?
Do you think a team would give up a first-round pick for him? I can't imagine that happening.
Yeah. I disagree that he's saying Minnesota would say no. Or excuse me, Houston would say no of number one and McCarthy. But there would be a market just because so many bad quarterbacks in this league.
First of all, Houston should, jump. They would have to put the phone on mute to start popping champagne bottles if a team calls and says, we're going to give you a 1.
See, I am confident I can trade him, fix the O-line, and then go get somebody else. And if something happens, I'm okay with Davis Mills, who saved your season. And that defense is so good. To think, they're down 5 points in the third quarter, and the guy had 4 interceptions against a team that went to the Super Bowl.
It is also easier to say that you're going to go and get the right quarterback than actually do it. Right? Because we hear this all the time. They got the franchise quarterback 75% of the time. No, they don't.
Okay. What if Carr is on that, is the Texans quarterback?
No chance.
Well, okay, Kyler Murray.
I don't even know if he's I don't even know how to rate Kyler Murray compared to, they seem like the same guy. Different games, but I don't think the ceiling for a team goes through the roof with either one of them.
It's not much of a downgrade. And I could get a decent return and fix the offensive line. And I already have plenty of weapons.
If C.J. Stroud goes to Miami.
Good spot.
I think they'd be maybe the worst team in football.
Oh, well, they don't have weapons, but I'm saying
it'd be awful.
If Miami would think about, would you rather have Stroud or Malik Willis and give him $100 million?
Well, they're neither. The right spot, I'd rather take a shot with Willis to see what I could do with the guy. I'm telling you, Green Bay should dangle Jordan Love. You want to get nuts? How about that for an idea?
Yeah.
I know it's a very small sample size, but Willis has looked awesome with LaFleur.
Yeah. But I originally, when I said this last week, and we had our guest on, I was with Dan. Why would it be? Why is that silly to suggest that?
Oh, it's not at all.
That's absolutely in play, that he was so bad, you might have to look at and moving him.
Well, it also, again, that was just a terrible job, as I said earlier, by the coaching staff.
Yes,
he had to get yanked.
Yes, he did. I agree.
Tim Murray next. 4-0-1, first week college hoops contest here on VSiN. We'll ask about tonight's card and who he likes to win some of these conference tournaments on Follow the Money. It's VSiN, the Sports Betting Network.
This is Follow the Money on VSiN.
Coming up after us, it is VSiN Primetime. Tim Murray, Matt Humans for 4 full hours are going to take you through the entire live betting evening that we have tonight in college basketball and the NBA. And the host of that show, Tim Murray, joins the program now. He was 4-0-1 in the first weekend of the college basketball contest here at VSiN, and you were the runner-up to Paul Stone. You must be cursing his name. He's 5-0.
5-0. We had, true story, on Super Bowl Sunday, I finished up my show. I was doing the show with John Hanson. I was out at Derek's area, and we were talking to Paul, and he and I were commiserating about how hard this college basketball season had been to that point. And, of course, Paul comes on the VSiN Weekend Morning Line, goes 5-0.
Mm-hmm.
So I go 4-0-1.
Great
Virginia
job.
Tech, it's a thankful little backdoor layup to get me the push. But I was kicking myself because I left off West Virginia. My last pick was Virginia Tech or West Virginia, and I was tossing it up, and ultimately West Virginia wins, as we know, over BYU, and Virginia Tech gets the push. But hey, like baseball, you can't win the pennant in November or in April, but you can lose it. So I'll take a 4-0-1 start.
Yeah, very good. Okay, so as for tonight, this is going to be. Is this the game of the night, Duke and NC State?
No, we'll do Iowa State.
Okay.
Arizona will be a game of the night.
But you're going to have a bet on the first game, and I've been making the case all day. Like, man, these are big numbers on the board against some of these dogs against the best teams. I know.
Yeah.
But you're going to go to war.
I'm
right,
going
with
to war.
NC State.
Yeah. So it felt like I don't know about you guys on Saturday. I stayed off of them. I played Seton Hall because I thought that was a great spot. That wasn't the typical big dog. I thought the big dogs that scared me. UVA, obviously that one doesn't come home. You think about what happened with Kansas and that revenge spot against Arizona. So I stayed off. I didn't play Texas Tech, who obviously won the game outright. I'm taking NC State here. And from a situational spot, I think it's ideal for NC State. I'm a big Will Wade guy. They've lost 4 of 5.
Mm-hmm. Weird team.
You look at this last stretch. You get absolutely annihilated at Louisville. You have 118 points. Then you follow it up by blowing a 6-point lead in the final minute. No big deal. I had them on a money line parlay. That was disastrous. But then they come back and they beat UNC. That was the second game, I believe, without Caleb Wilson. So it was kind of the fallen star theory, however you want to look at it. But then they get smoked by Virginia, and they go to Notre Dame and lose. Notre Dame is a disaster this year. Didn't have their top 2 players. Marcus Burton and Harrelson are both out. And then you look at Duke. They're an absolute freight train right now. So is this the ultimate buy low, sell high situation? Maybe UNC on deck, catching 9.5 at home against Duke. So I think you get a really good effort, but I'm also very aware that this could just be a situation where this is the best team in college basketball, and they're on a war path to getting a national title.
We have the same bet on a future, and it's the no on Santa Clara to make the tournament. You got plus money. It's still available right now.
Yeah.
State your case.
All right. So Santa Clara is right now, if you look at any bracketology, they're in. And I think that's fair. The problem is the meat on the bone for Santa Clara remaining. They have to beat St. Mary's in the WCC tournament. If they do, they're going to get in. But if they don't, you look at their resume, their best win is St. Mary's. That's obviously a very good win. But you have to think about the possibility of bid thieves.
Yep.
So let's look at the Atlantic 10. St. Louis is a lock to get in right now. What if they don't win the A10 tournament? What if a team like VCU wins it, or another team, George Washington, whatever it may be? Bid thief, one less spot. You look at a conference like the MAC, and we can get into it. I know it's a hot topic right now. I think Miami, if they go 33-0 and lose to an Akron or a Kent State, I think they get in. I think they get thrown to Dayton. I think that is going to happen. Bid thief situation. The Mountain West, another Utah State, a lock to get in.
They
right?
won't win it.
And if they don't win the Mountain West tournament here in Vegas, that is a bid thief opportunity. So I think the margin of error for Santa Clara to get in is razor thin. And then also look at what happened yesterday. Ohio State wins. Now Ohio State's got a pretty good win on their resume. Their resume is building up here. So I just think Santa Clara, unfortunately for them, it kind of comes down to beating St. Mary's in the WCC tournament next Monday.
Think about 33-1 and being in a play-in game. Max had a good point earlier about why are we trying to nitpick and not enjoy this great story? Yeah. And then you have, for a coach to say that, and what Pearl said, well, I just can't believe.
You have to know where Pearl's coming from, right? His son.
Yeah, I got it. But in the wee stuff, I know.
And they all want, these big coaches, they all believe that hey, look at how many games we've won, how many things we deserve. It is, I kind of go back and forth because I understand the criticism of a Miami, right? They have no quad 1 wins. They have 1 quad 2 win. They played 3 non-division 1 teams. I understand it, but this is a really fun team to watch.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I would just
92
say this,
a game. There you go.
Go watch them, right? And the game on Friday night was a clunker, and you're going to have clunkers, but there has to be something to say to avoid losing that game on the road. You've had a bullseye on your chest for how long now, you know? And I said this on Saturday, and I put it out on Twitter. It drives me absolutely crazy, guys, that the Mid-American Conference is not rewarding its best teams. They have not had multiple bids come out of the MAC since 1999.
Yep.
But yet, their conference tournament is going to be played at the Cavaliers Arena in front of sparse crowds, no buys, 3 games in 3 days, no reseeding. What advantage does that do to this league? I just don't understand it. Toledo won this regular season, the MAC regular season, in 21, 22, 23, and 24. Guess how many times they won the conference tournament? 0.
Wow.
And now
terrible.
Miami and Akron's really damn good. By the
Absolutely,
way,
they are
Miami plays Akron in Cleveland in the championship. Akron's going to be the favorite.
Yeah, you're the second person to say that
So,
today.
I mean, I hope Miami gets in. I hope they win the conference, to be honest. And there's nothing against Akron.
Good point. 7,000 people were at the title
last year.
game?
I looked it up. I was curious what the crowds were for the championship of the MAC. Last year was like a little over $7,000, 8,000 the year before, 9,000 the year before. And what's also pointed out to me, I'm not Adam Burke. I don't know the geography inside and out of Ohio. Akron's a lot closer to Cleveland than Oxford, Ohio, right? So there's going to be a lot of fans there for if we get that championship game. So, I mean, look, I get the resume. They should have tried harder. I know Travis Steele has said, well, we tried. They wouldn't schedule us. Akron, played up and had a couple of tough games. All that being said, just go watch them. They're a really fun bat. Before you start nitpicking and say they don't belong or they do belong, just watch a game of theirs because they are a really fun team to watch.
I like this parlay you did. Tell people about this parlay you put together.
So I put together a little conference future parlay. A lot of chatter on social media. Did Adam come on the show or did he write about it on VSiN.com?
He wrote about it.
Okay. Navy today, and a lot of people were able to grab it, was mispriced in the futures market. Navy, by the way, 17-1 in the Patriot League. I tried to go against them on Saturday. That did not go well. Colgate went to Annapolis. I thought it was a classic spot to go against the team who would clinch the number 1 spot. Nope. They're a runaway freight train right now. Navy
Killing
is
teams.
crushing teams. Patriot League, home court.
Bingo.
Every single game.
Amen.
Navy will play at home every single game in the Patriot League. Now, there's no reseeding. There's no buys. But you have them at home all 3 games, quarter, semis, championship. So I put them with Gonzaga, and I got it at plus 150 at FanDuel. I think it's like plus 145. Still think it's worth a little bit of a look. I know Gonzaga just lost to St. Mary's. You guys have been to the West Coast Conference Tournament. I was there a couple of years ago. It's Spokane South. It's the last opportunity for them to win this championship. And you've got the revenge on your mind with St. Mary's. And, oh, by the way, St. Mary's is the 2 seed because of the tiebreaker going to Gonzaga. So Gonzaga will more than likely play Oregon State in the semifinal. St. Mary's is going to have their hands full. They already lost to Santa Clara once this year. Right. So I think Gonzaga to Navy plus 145-ish, worth a little play for a futures parlay there with some of these conference tournaments.
Okay, very good. Yeah, that's St. Mary's knew that it was the last chance ever at home against Gonzaga on Saturday night.
I was mad I didn't play it. I got scared off by the number. I thought it was too short because it was 10 when they played at the Kennel earlier in the season. So I stayed off of it. By the way, I think it's now 9 straight times to the under Gonzaga St. Mary's games.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I think it's like 23 of 31, but I know it's 9 straight to the under in Gonzaga St. Mary's games.
Yeah. And we've said this for a long time. For people who always want to come to Las Vegas for the madness, they planned the first weekend. Don't be afraid to come out the first week. I mean, with the tournaments that are going on out here, it's incredible for championship week. That tournament at the Orleans Arena, which holds about 7,000 people,
awesome.
It'll be filled up with Gonzaga fans. It's one of my favorite venues I've ever watched a college basketball game.
I know this is the last opportunity, so book your trip now. You have 8 days.
Well,
Tuesday night, next Tuesday night at the Orleans, the last time. I mean, that's sad. To me,
you're right.
St. Mary's and Gonzaga, that rivalry going away. Hopefully they figure it out and they can play a home and home or whatever. But
Seth Greenberg thinks they still may.
I hope so.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's
a great rivalry. And the fact Fleming and Farnham have to call it every single year.
Yeah.
They're the best.
Yeah.
They've called 1,000,000 of those games.
That's Tim Murray, 4-0-1 first weekend of the college basketball contest. He's coming up with Matt Youmans. VSiN Prime Time. They're going to take you through the entire night tonight, live betting wise, in the NBA and college basketball, followed by Dustin Sweetelson in Cashing Out. Best of luck with your bets tonight. We'll see you.